Hi, my name is Miss Armstrong, and we are at Seven Pines Elementary School. This is our 4th grade classroom. I want to welcome you. Today we're going to do a Jamestown lesson. I want to introduce my fabulous co-workers.
Miss Falello.
And Miss Alvis.
Thank you for joining us today. Boys and girls, are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Hear ye, hear ye.
All hail the Queen.
Thank you. Boys and girls, today we're going to continue our unit on Jamestown, and we are going to specifically talk about today the importance of the General Assembly. The General Assembly was the first representative legislation in English America, right? We talked about this. It's a very important body, and it was put into 3 different spots, right? What were the 3 different parts of the General Assembly? Let me put the big name tag up for General Assembly first. Let's see how long we do this before the crown falls off. What do you think? Okay, so we have the General Assembly right here, right? What is one of the pieces of the General Assembly, Emily? The governor. Good, we're going to put him right here in the middle. And Colton?
The burgesses.
The burgesses. They were a very important part, right? We're going to learn all about them. And the last one, Katie? The governor's council. We'll put them over here. Okay. What we're going to do today, we are going to get into our groups. We're going to split you up into one of the 3 categories, okay? You're going to look on your desk and you're going to look for your colored sticker, right? If you are a red sticker, you're going to come up front with Miss Armstrong and you are going to be the governor today. If you have the blue sticker, you're going to go over to Mrs. Alvis and you are going to be the burgesses today. And if you have the yellow sticker, you're going to go with Mrs. B and you're going to be the council. Good. All right. Does everybody understand what we're going to do?
Yeah.
When you're there, you're going to work with your team. That means everybody works together to put together your puzzle. Because your puzzle is going to have very important information that you're going to share with us, right? So you're going to put together your puzzle. You're going to tape it and glue it down. You're going to choose one person from your group to be the spokesperson. You're the one that's going to tell us all about your part of the General Assembly, okay? And then we are going to come up with one law, you know, because the important part of this General Assembly is that they made the laws for Jamestown, right? So your job is to make one law. Do you think you can handle that, my friends? My royal subjects. Can you do that?
Yes.
Okay, so when I say go, we're going to push in our chairs, and we're going to go.
Okay.
Go!
So where do you think that would be an edge, right? Yeah, put it right in there. Look.
If you do the, see how the outside has these?
That wouldn't fit in
And
there.
this is a corner.
No.
Does it fit
It
there?
goes right here.
Where do you think it goes? Right there?
Right there. Wait. We need another word piece.
Yeah.
You can have it
This
hidden.
goes on the bottom too.
Let's not tape until we're...
Here we go. Try that one.
And then this connects right here.
This goes right here, guys.
Yeah.
And then can we get that piece of it?
Looks great.
I don't think this piece will go there. Wait, let me see. Yes, it.
Well, if we have an edge there,
Wait,
you
let
think
me
it will go?
No.
No, right?
Okay, so the picture's going to be at the bottom, I know that.
Would it go?
How about right
This piece.
in there?
Yeah.
Right in there. Try that.
What about no? Because what about on the?
I think it does.
I don't think that goes there because we can't.
Is this the
It
top?
goes somewhere. Done.
We're missing a
Well, we're
piece.
going to put words in. I don't think we're missing a piece. I don't think so.
You see a match with the piece you got over here? Good. Does it fit?
Where could it go? Maybe we need to connect those pieces together.
We have this long strip. What's the place? Stick it on here?
I knew I was going to get the one that was messed up.
Give me
Who's reading? Essence, are you reading, honey?
Bottom
Okay.
piece.
Now, are we thinking about laws?
the
What law do you want to do? You want to do the same one as yesterday?
broom.
Men and women should have equal rights. Does that include the Africans and the women that came over?
You have to
So everybody, equal rights.
Card, how can I see that piece?
Does it match?
It does, and you left the perfect spot.
Do it so you can read it, love.
Yeah, well done. Okay, we're gonna do it. I'll get a piece of tape.
Is there a weird piece right there? Well, I think she's got it. All right. Who's reading this out loud? Essence is going to read it? So, who was the governor? Well, that's one of the governors, right? Who elected the governor? Was he elected or was he chosen? Chosen by who?
King James.
King James chose the governor, right? So, do you think that this person, the governor, was from Jamestown or was this person from England? I don't know. You tell me. Maybe the paper will help us. Do you think the people of Jamestown like this person? That's good. That's okay. That's okay. She can read what it says. I think you can read that, right, huh? Say,
Jarvis, let Jarvis put the last piece if he hasn't put it in.
all right, Jarvis. He waits until the last one because that's the best one, right?
Take that one down.
Yep. So I'm going to let you guys read that, and then I'm going to ask my question again, okay?
Not bad, right?
Can you read that, love?
Yeah.
You sure?
As long as the words are close, that she can make it out. I think it'll work.
All right. Essence, you want to read that out loud to practice? Right here? Okay. Right there? Lots of tape. Should have glued it, huh? That's all right. All right. Essence, you want to read that out loud?
He was anointed by the Virginia Company officials in London, usually a wealthy person from England. In 1619, Governor
Yearly.
stopped martial law, giving new freedoms. He also set the price for tobacco. He led the first General Assembly.
So let me ask this question again. Do you think who gave him the job? The King James, or the king did, right? So was this person from England or from Jamestown? If King James said, "Hey, you're going to be the governor," he was probably from England, right? He was not one of the settlers, was he? Okay. Do you think that the people in Jamestown liked the governor? If you were someone and you were struggling, we know they were struggling in Jamestown, right? And here comes the governor, he's coming from England. And he's got, probably the robes and the fancy clothes and all the food and the money. And you get off that boat and you come to Jamestown and you're a settler and you haven't had a lot of food and you haven't bathed, right? And you had to use those privies. Do you think that you would feel kindly towards this person? I don't know. But this person had a lot of power, didn't he? So when it says that he stopped martial law, that means that the soldiers were in charge, right? Then the governor came, and now all of a sudden the governor is in charge. So we have one person in charge.
Not bigger than 100, right?
Wait.
No, honey. He said 50. Yeah, not square feet. We said he wants acres. What do you think about acres? A-C-R-E-S. So,
R-E-S.
Don't forget to make your log.
Hide your face. I literally told you.
Let's write our log.
all right.
Right. Who wants to put the law on there? Me. You want to do that, CJ? All right. Remember, what law are you guys going to decide? Remember, because that's part of your job. You all have to decide a law. Come up with a law.
What are we thinking?
So come up with the law.
Yes. What do you think our law should be?
Make everything fair.
One more minute.
Fair.
Um, make women and men equal.
Right.
No, they made like equal rights for Africans,
What do
like
we think the law's going to be?
that. Yeah.
It was equal right.
Royal subjects, are you ready to share? Yes. So we have worked in our small groups. We have learned about our group, and now we're going to share the important job that that group does. We're going to do the law at the very end, okay? All right, so our first group is the governor. Essence. Governor. Governor.
He was anointed by the Virginia Company officials in London. Usually a wealthy person from England. In 1619, Governor Yearly stopped martial law, giving new freedoms. He also set the price for tobacco. He led the first Virginia General Assembly.
Governor's Council. We're going to turn this way. Governor's Council. Autumn.
Governor's Council. This included about a dozen rich and powerful planters and merchants. They served as advisors to the governor and were appointed by the king. This was also a lifetime job. They also made up the highest court in the colony. They settled daily disputes, made regulations, and granted land grants.
Thank you very much, Autumn. So, were these gentlemen, because you know they were all gentlemen. Sorry, ladies. These gentlemen, were they rich and powerful, or were they settlers? Are you sure?
They were
They were rich and powerful planters, right? They were the merchants. They were the rich people. So far, the government of Jamestown, we have a governor who's from England who's rich and powerful. We have the governor's council, which is rich and powerful men. Do you think there might be some problems? I would have a problem with that. I want someone who's like me to give laws, right? Okay, so thankfully, we get to elect, right? That's what one of the charters said. We get to elect 2 people from every district like me, right? Yeah. Just like our SCA officers for our classroom, right? We get to pick 2 people to have our backs when they make laws. And they're called the burgess, right? So let's learn about the burgess. Who's talking on the burgess? Okay, Mariana? Really that, okay?
Okay. In 1618, the Great Charter authorized the popular election of the 2 representatives per division to advise the governor. In 1643, it became a separate legislative body called the House of Burgesses. It then met separately from the governor and his council. It was the first elected legislative representative body in the colony and in English America.
Thank you very much, Mariana. Do you think that there might have been some problems between the 3 parts of the General Assembly?
Yes.
Why do you think that would be a problem, Mariana?
Because everyone might be like fighting over laws.
They might be fighting and infighting, and oh, you're a rich guy. Ooh, you're just a settler, right? So what the House of Burgess did was they said, you know what? Forget you. we're not going to meet with you guys anymore. We're going to form our own part of the government. And they formed the House of Burgess. They met separately. And that became part of our General Assembly today. Our General Assembly today has two separate parts, right? Well, three if you count the governor. The governor, then you have this other part, and then you have the House. So the General Assembly in 1619 and then again in 1640 really set up the Virginia government today. And that's why it's important that we learn all about it, okay? So what was your law? What was your law? I'm curious. Hold on. Let me go to the next page. And I froze it. Hold on 1 second. What's your law? Who's standing up and telling me your law? Stand up. Let's pick someone else to read this time. All right, Elena.
Everybody should have equal rights.
Everybody should have equal rights. I like that law. Do you think that would be hard to enforce?
Yes.
Do you think the settlers wanted to have equal rights with the natives?
No.
Do you think the rich governor wanted to have equal rights with the burgess? Do you think the rich governor and the governor's council wanted to have the same rights as the Africans that came over? Were we equal in Jamestown? Were the women equal as the men?
No.
Were the rich planters equal with the people that did the horses? No. That would have been a good law. I wish you guys had been on the council. That would have been a good law. What about the burgess, since we're right here? What did you decide as your law, CJ?
No littering.
No littering? Oh my gosh, what would that have solved? Why did you pick that as a law?
No polluting.
No polluting, no littering. Why is that an important law?
Because it can affect the air and our trees.
Okay. What about Jamestown that we learned that we wish that they had not littered, right? What did we learn about Jamestown? It was kind of a messy place. It was kind of stinky, right? And gross.
And they had no healthy water.
Right. So no littering would have maybe helped that, right? Good job. All right. And then we'll move back here. Who's going to read this one? Oh, Katie. Okay, Katie, what is your law?
Man and woman should be given a fair share of land, 75 acres.
Oh, I love that you put an amount. So men and women, no matter their race or religion or anything else, or finances, should get the same parcel of land.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think the three groups would have agreed on any of these?
And nobody can come and steal it.
No. That would be important. Do you think that this group would have agreed with that?
No.
Do you think that this group would have agreed with that? So you see why they had to split up and do three different ones? Okay, boys and girls, very nice job. Tell me one thing that you learned today. Can't be you, sweetheart. One thing that you learned today. Kai?
I wasn't actually raising mine.
Well, I'm asking you. Tell me one thing you learned today. Or a question you might still have.
Well, my question is, like, why, like, I'm still, like, I'm confused, like, why they're being mean to the black people that came in.
That is a very good question. I wish I could answer that. I had that same question. Why were they not fair? Why were they held in slaves, right? Why were they the workers? Why were they brought here? That's a great question. That's a question of the ages. Anybody else have a question or tell me something you learned today? I'm looking for other people today. Anybody else? Essence.
I learned that the governor really stopped martial laws.
He stopped the law from the soldiers being in charge, right? Good. Boys and girls, did you learn today? I learned a lot from you today. It was really fun. I really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us in Miss Armstrong's class today at Seven Pines Elementary. I hope you enjoyed our lesson on Jamestown.
We are smart. We can get it. We belong. We won't forget it. Bye.